Hi, and here's a little overview of assignment 3. So we're going to play with some drawings inside a Google Doc. So you can create a drawing just on its own, but this is a drawing embedded inside a Google Doc. And I'll double click it to show you what it looks like. So there's all these different pieces of it, right? There's a text box here, there's another box here, and I can move it around, and I can take this one and move it around as well if I want to. And so you'll be moving things around and trying to get them to line up. There's lots of different other lines that bounce around to say, like that red line down the middle tells me I'm centered. And then we're going to layer things. So I'm just going to give you a little hint on, there's lots of different boxes going on here. And there's lots of different layers where one thing's on top of another, on top of another. So how do we do this? I'm just going to undo what I just did there until I get back to where it was. There we go. So to create a new drawing, we're going to say Insert Drawing. And it opens this canvas for me. And then I can decide, do I want to do a text box, for example? And then I can type any text I want in here. And I get some ideas of properties because I'm inside the text box. I get all these extra tools across here. If I click away, all those tools go away. So if I click on the text box, I can decide, you know what, I think instead of just being transparent, I want it to be a white inside. And instead of having no line being transparent, maybe I want it to have a black outline, and maybe I want to have it a little bit thicker of an outline. So you can play with all these different things to see what it does. You can change the font, you can change the font size, you can change the text color, whatever you want to do. Okay. You can also add other things like shapes. So here's a shape of just a regular box. Maybe I want to draw a box like this, and it defaulted to a blue fill color. Maybe I want it to be white. And the next thing I'm going to show you is, notice how one is on top of the other. What if I wanted this one, my text box that has some writing in it, now it gets covered up underneath here. What if I wanted it to be on top? So I can click on it and look on the actions and say, wait a minute, under order, I can bring it forward. So now it's over top of the other one. So that was some of the ideas in the big assignment, is to be layering things one on top of the other. My recommendation, I'm going to close it, so here it is, and you can always go back into it by double clicking. I'm going to look in my assignment version, and I'm going to say, you know what, this box that has this one, notice it's the same size as this one and this one and this one. I don't want to try and recreate a bunch of boxes because then they'll all be different sizes. So what I'd rather do is take this box. Once I get it the size I want, is if I go on the edge of it and click on it, I can Control C to copy, and then I can right click and paste it. So then I've got the exact same box that would go down here. And again and again and again. And to center it, I can move it left and right until I get this big vertical red line show up. Oh, there it is, to say that it's centered, to help me get things up and down. Similarly, this big outside box, let's move it away for a second. It's just a big box, but why don't I just create it once and then copy it to make this one? And lastly, all these things, these M's all around there, they all look the same. So they look the same. So once I get one set with the way I want it, like here, I don't want a border around it, I just want it in red. Once I get it set once, then I'm going to copy it and then paste it every time I want to use a new one. So that one would go over top of here, and this one is the same, and this one is the same. Otherwise I end up getting lots of different boxes, all slightly different sizes, and that's not what I want. Okay, so I'm giving you the hints of, this is some of the, when I click on it, these are all separate lines, but again, once I get PSW Kingston the way I want it, notice it's used again for ESL Belleville, Trent and Belleville. They're all the same, so just copy and paste once you get one the formatting you like, rather than having to reformat things every time.